More updates now coming in, and this regarding the GST compensation cess. As many as 10 states have threatened to now move the Supreme Court after the stalemate over the compensating states for the shortfall in the GST collections continued at the council meet yesterday. In fact, this is the second time in a week that the panel failed to reach any consensus on the centre's proposal to the states borrowing against future GST collections to make up for this shortfall. In fact, while 21 states have agreed to borrow under a special option 1 window, another 10 states were in fact stuck to their view that the full compensation amount will have to be paid in the current year itself, with the centre borrowing the shortfall amount. The centre has virtually ruled out that it would borrow from the market and that it has kept its doors open to the dissenting states for further discussions on this.
It was a very useful meeting. Some specific clarifications were asked and they were given also. Many of the clarifications which were asked were on the AG's opinion as regards the borrowing, as regards the council's authority to extend the collection of the cess beyond 5 years. All that was explained as it was discussed and questions were asked.
Meanwhile, coming down heavily on the centre, states like Kerala and Punjab in fact have questioned as to why no decision is being taken by the council on compensating the states. While the Kerala Finance Minister Thomas Isaac has alleged that permitting 21 states to borrow from the market is illegal, Punjab government has said that the centre is setting a very dangerous precedent by not taking a call on this entire matter. Let me go across to my colleague Ruchi, who's joining me with further updates on this. Ruchi, the stalemate over the GST compensation cess that continues and the GST Council meeting they're ending inconclusively. Tell us about the differences that the states have now brought in, and how is the centre looking at finding a mid-ground to this entire situation?
Yesterday, I understand 10% too soon.
All right, Ruchi, we'll try and reconnect with you in just a bit. We seem to be having a bad audio connection there. Ruchi, stay with us. We'll try and reconnect with you in just a bit. But important updates there coming in with regards to the GST compensation cess there, and a showdown between the centre and the opposition ruled states there. While the centre there is ruling out borrowing and paying of the states, 10 of the dissenting states now have even threatened to take a legal recourse by moving to the Supreme Court as well. So it is going to be extremely crucial to see what really happens, because as many as 10 states now have even threatened to move the Supreme Court after the stalemate over the compensating states for the shortfall in the GST collection continued at the GST Council yesterday. Now, it is going to be hugely significant to see how the opposition-ruled states are looking at this, because they have already upped the ante, with the Kerala government first slamming the centre and saying the 21 states permitted to borrow under option 1 is illegal, and the option 1 involves a deferment of compensation payment beyond 5 years. Meanwhile, we are also looking at a similar statement there coming in from the Punjab government as well, who also slammed the centre, saying that we are close to setting up some dangerous precedents at this point, and also saying that goodbye to the constitution compensation law and to the minutes of the council meetings as well. Let me once again go back to my colleague Ruchi Bhatia for all the latest updates they're coming in. Ruchi, take us through the details now coming in of what's going to happen now with several of the states, as many as 10 now even threatening to move the Supreme Court, saying that the centre perhaps is now setting a rather dangerous precedent.
Oh, absolutely right. The GST compensation saga is far from over yet. After the inconclusive GST Council meeting yesterday, the 10 dissenting states will soon formulate a strategy to take on the centre. We're given to understand that the 10 dissenting states are likely to seek a legal recourse, may knock the doors of the Supreme Court as well. While a call on this will be taken very soon, the dissenting states have called the centre's move to proceed with the borrowing for states as illegal. They believe that there was no consensus in yesterday's meeting. Up until now, all decisions have been taken with consensus in the GST Council meeting, and the way the centre is proceeding at this point of time almost makes them feel like the option to borrow is being forced gently on them. Having said that, the dissenting states also question how can the states borrow if they have outstanding debt as per Article 293 of the GST Act. Besides that, the dissenting states had also sought the AG's opinion on if it is in the purview of the GST Council to decide on the option for borrowing. So there are, of course, critical questions that remain unanswered, but definitely, yes, the fact that the path on which the centre seems to be moving now could be a breaking point between the relationship of centre as well as states.
All right, Ruchi, many thanks for joining us and bringing us all those updates there.